In this video, we are going to be talking about the Reverie abilities. Now, if you're not familiar with these videos, then pretty much, if you're new to Affixing, in the upper right hand corner or in the description, there's an Affixing 101 playlist. There are several other playlists as well that you can look at later. To understand this video, you need to watch two videos, the stacking ability one and the soul manipulator one. If you're familiar with these certain videos now, then you don't need to watch those videos. So yeah, here's the thing about Reveries. They do give you a good chunk of attack, and it depends on which one you are going for. They do have a con to them, but Reveries can be found from the Dark Files Omega variants or in certain Episode 5 emergency quests, seasonal quests, limited quests, what have you. With these certain Reveries, guess what? They will emphasize on either a certain stat or they can give you an most all-rounder attack stat. Omega Reverie, for example, gives you plus 15 in melee range technique power, plus 20 in HP, plus 1 in PP. Elder Reverie, however, focuses more on the melee power, gives you plus 40, give you plus 20 in the other two attack powers, which is range and tech, but it does give you a minus 2 PP in that stat. Luther Reverie gives you minus 20 HP, but it can emphasize on the T power by 40, and your melee and range is going to be a 20. Apergina's, guess what? The range one is going to be plus 40. Melee tech is going to be plus 20. It is going to do a minus 10 to your HP and minus 1 to your PP. Gemini Reverie focuses more on the HP and PP, so you get plus 50 HP, plus 5 PP, but your melee power is going to get decreased by 20 for all different types, so melee, range, and tech. Persona Rev is your plus 40 in your melee, range, and tech, but it's going to do negative 20 to your melee, range, and tech defense. Mana Reverie, however, is a mid-grade ability which you need to do a certain formula for to make it. There are other ways to try to get this as well. But Mana Reverie, which I talked about in several other videos as well, this thing can give you plus 50 in your melee, range, technique power, plus 20 HP, plus 4 PP. And then there's the Reverie Catalyst, which I already made a video to talk about Catalyst, but you don't need to watch it so you can understand this video. I'm going to give you guys a breakdown to the Catalyst making. Alright, so let's say you want to manipulate with one of these random or natural drops. Note that Omega, Elder, Luther, Apergina, Gemini, Persona can be a natural drop. The Reverie Catalyst can drop in a certain quest type, but it's heavy on RNG chance and it's rare for it to drop like a common drop. So let's say you were to toy around with Elder Reverie and you see that with just one copy it does not work. So guess what? 2 is going to be your magic number for the lower percent. It's going to be transferable at a 30%. Guess what? 3 copies is going to give you the maximum with just its copies. It's going to be at a 50%. You can increase this percent further by using one of these two souls. You can either use Historia soul to increase that by a good whopping 20%. Guess what? That's at a 70%. If I try to get it to transfer, use a 30%, it's an easy 100, so I would need to have this sold somewhere. I can use 2 copies alone to actually get a 50% with that soul. 1 copy by itself, yeah, no, you can't get Elder Reverie to transfer, so it's going to be either 1 or 2. The other soul that can do this as well would be the Fabula soul. Now, having both of these souls together is not going to play a huge factor to this, so you can just use one of its copy. Now there's another reason to why you would want to have 2 of these souls in your formula, which I'll explain in a couple minutes. But guess what? Fabula soul can do the same thing like the Historia soul in terms of helping you boost that chance for Reveries. 2 of these plus that Fabula soul 50%, 3 of these plus that Fabula soul 70%. And that's how you can toy around with it. Now, other ways to get a Reverie type would be through an SAF. However, with the SAF, there's only one type you can get, and it's from making sure you get a plus 35 on a particular weapon. And these are 2 15 stars that you may or may not want to do. This ultimately falls on you. When it comes to SAF, it's just a fancy way of saying special augment ability factor. I will have a redo video talking about them in due time. You don't need to know what it is, but just note that there is a way to get this certain Reverie without spending as much. But once again, that's very situational, especially with the fact that you can only get this from 15 stars. Now, you can get an SAF of a Reverie Catalyst, which is going to be useful if you want to try to get a Mana Reverie on a weapon. let me talk about that Reverie now. Mana Reverie is once again a mid-game formula that you need to have 4 catalysts, Reverie Catalysts, and then an Omega Memoria to try to make the Mana Reverie. I'm going to reveal something at the end of this video, especially if you've been paying attention to my videos. But yeah, the normal way to make a Mana Rev is to have this formula here, 4 Reverie Catalysts plus an Omega Memoria. It's going to give you a 60% transfer rate, and then you need to slap on a 30 or 40, depends on what's going on. If there's a boost week, 10, 15%, guess what? That's going to be boosted towards 70, 75%, then you can just use a 30% instead. But now you might be wondering, okay, Morph, how do I make these catalysts? Like the Astral and you making that sort of thing, guess what? You need all the different Faust types. There's gonna be 5 of them. You can ignore Omega Memoria when it comes to you trying to go for a Reverie Catalyst. You need Elder, Luther, Apergina, Gemini, and Persona. And you will be able to try to make a Reverie Catalyst out of 10%. This is the normal way to do it. This is gonna be a pain in the butt to do. However, there will be pop items when it comes to you getting these. You can look in the description for that video. It's not a mandatory thing to understand it, but understand that you can get a catalyst by using a pop item. But that's how you make Reverie Catalyst the normal way. And it's going to be stuck at that percent unless you use ability success boosters. And you need 4 of these to try to make that Mana Rev. The last one you need to try to make a Mana Rev is Omega Memoria. This is where you would want to use the Omega Reverie. But now, you would also want to use Historia and Fabula to also make this. You do need both of these to try to make them along with that Omega Memoria. Guess what? This is going to be at a 10% as well. You will need to use ability boosters and hopefully do it on a boost week to increase your chances. And then once that's out of the way, guess what? You can make your Mana Reverie. So over here in the Japanese PSO2, this is a bit of a spoiler, but this is something I would want to lay on you guys. There is a pop item to get a Mana Reverie from the Mission Badge shop. If you haven't seen my Mission Badge video, look in the upper right hand corner for that. It's not a mandatory thing to watch, but this will show you guys that you can get a pop item that guarantees this thing at 100% compared to you making this certain formula. And also note, once again, there is an SAF for these Reverie Catalysts from these particular weapon series. Unlike the Persona Rev one, they can be an SAF from the 13-star Profound series and then the 14-star Celestial weapon series. And that concludes this video. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, put it down below. But that is it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.